Don't have to detach from wanting your specific person. In fact, you can go deeper and immerse yourself in the bliss of having this wonderful, loving, joyous, happy relationship. What you do have to detach from is all the BS. Guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. Today I want to talk about shifting realities in the quantum field, how a lot of people, I believe, may be looking for some big event to happen for them to realize that they have shifted into an entire different reality. But what you guys don't realize is that it's incredibly subtle and it's happening moment to moment. We are now awakening to understanding that we're not solid. Nothing in our reality is solid. We're all atoms, and atoms shift, change, morph, and conform to whatever you observe in your mind, in your mind's eye, consistently and dominantly. When I first started really honing in on my skill to deliberately create the life that I wanted to live, I saw how, not saying it's always easy, but how things can literally shift and change right in front of your eyes. And it's not that you're changing the people or anything, you're not changing what's already solidified in your material world. You're changing yourself, and then the reflection immediately can reflect it back to you. But when we really feel very urgent about something, very desperate about something, then it's because of that desperation, that anxiousness, we're keeping ourselves in the reality of not having it because we are constantly living from and embodying the version of us that doesn't see evidence, that isn't in trust, that doesn't realize who we are, that we're perfect already exactly how we are. Our energy is perfect. Our masculine and feminine energy is perfect. Our communication style and how we communicate, how we show love, how we walk, how we talk. We are already perfect exactly how we are. And whatever we feel deep down in our heart and soul is our birthright, and we can have it. The shift in your reality, it's literally just happening every single moment. That's why you have to get in a place of stability, trust, and in peace of whatever it is that you want to manifest, because you're changing yourself. You're not changing your specific person. You're not changing their mind. You're not needing to prove to them that you're good enough. You're not needing to do anything with anyone in your reality to earn love, respect, and value. You have to love, respect, and value yourself truly, not just in a fake way to try to get something or someone. If you want to be married to your specific person, then you are living from, you're embodying the energy of a loving, supportive wife or a husband, a partner, a spouse. You are confident, secure, you are at peace. You don't worry about anything because you know you guys got each other's back. You love each other deeply. You support each other completely. You feel safe being together. Okay. So let me read this really quickly. Anyway, before I read this, if you love me, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps my channel grow, and I really do appreciate you for that. If you want me to be your coach to help you manifest anything at all related to your SP, email a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Go to my website, coreunion.com, book whatever you want to book. My scheduling assistant, Olga, will get back to you as soon as possible. And then after I read this, I want to give an example of like when you are literally shifting yourself and then you're conforming to embodying who it is that you already are, that you just don't realize, obviously, then everything in your reality rearranges itself. All the cooperative components automatically come together. This part is hands off from you. This is none of your business, and you need to stop trying to manipulate and control people in your reality and the entire situation. Okay, this is what surrender and detachment looks like. You don't have to detach from wanting your specific person. In fact, you can go deeper and immerse yourself in the bliss of having this wonderful, loving, joyous, happy relationship. What you do have to detach from is all the BS that you believe is in the way between you and your person. Whatever came up, I don't love you, I don't want to be with you, you're delusional. if you know, you're going to be like, no, I'm sorry. I know that you love me. So, okay, whatever. And just you detach from that. You detach from the fear of that. And no matter what they say or do, you're like, whatever, I believe in us. So I know who we are to each other. And you just detach from that. And then you just stay within and you trust that all the unfolding that needs to happen is happening. So you wouldn't be like doing manipulative things because you'd be in your power. So let me read this. This is from the Power of Awareness, chapter 13, acceptance. The man who at or the man or woman, the man or woman who at will can assume whatever state they please has found the keys to the kingdom of heaven. The keys are desire, imagination, and a steadily focused attention on the feeling of the wish fulfilled. To such a man or woman, any undesirable objective fact is no longer a reality and the ardent wish no longer a dream. And Malachi 3:10 from scripture, prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there shall not be room enough to receive it, because it would be so abundant. The windows of heaven may not be opened and the treasures seized by a strong will, but they open of themselves and present their treasures as a free gift, a gift that comes when absorption reaches such a degree that it results in a feeling of complete acceptance. The passage from your present state to the feeling of your wish fulfilled is not across a gap. There is continuity between the so called real and unreal. To cross from one state to the other, you simply extend your feelers, trust your touch, and enter fully into the spirit of what you are doing. Not by might nor by power, but my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Assume the spirit, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and you will have opened the windows to receive the blessing. To assume a state is to get into the spirit of it. Your triumphs will be a surprise only to those who did not know your hidden passage from the state of longing to the assumption of the wish fulfilled. The Lord of hosts will not respond to your wish until you have assumed the feeling of already being what you want to be. Excuse me, for acceptance is the channel of his action. Acceptance is the Lord of hosts in action. And his action is God, universe, source, infinite intelligence, divine intelligence. And that inner being is who you actually are, but you were pushed out as a perfect masterpiece, as a channel to create on behalf of God. Stop being so disempowered. Stop not loving yourself deeply. Please. It's killing me. When I read some of the comments, I'm like, guys, please, you are staying stuck in your 3D. If you want to consciously manifest, you have to drop it all and let it go, release it, undo it. You have to do all of the things that resonate with you, but stick to it and trust that it's working. Okay. So when I had the interior design business that I had created to intentionally prove that manifestation was real, I remember there were times where I was in the showroom, for example, and if I wanted to manifest 10,000 by the end of the day or 25,000 by the end of the week or whatever the dollar amount that I wanted was. You go into work, nothing happens. Next day you go into work, nothing happens. Crickets. I remember there was this thing that I would always do. I like to think of, like, for example, I would look out at the water because I had a beautiful water view. There would be no one in the store. I hadn't actually in the 3D received whatever the amounts of money that I've been living from having, by the way. I would continually all day, every day, I was receiving energetically all of the money. I was celebrating inside. I would have my employee just throw music on. We would just be dancing and laughing and playing games while nothing was going on, just to shift the energy, right? So sometimes I would either go in the back office, close the door, lights off. I would just take a few nice deep breaths in and out, and I would imagine myself in the center of the showroom or behind the counter where I would work and people would come in and stuff. And I would just suddenly imagine 20, 30 people in the store. I would imagine walking through and people grabbing me, asking me for help. Then I would skip right to imagining the sales were done. I would imagine right to the end of the day, the batch and the, 10, 20, 30, $40,000, whatever it was, right? And then I would come out of that. So I energetically, even though I was in the office, in the back room, energetically, I was also in the middle of the showroom. Energetically, I already received all of the money. Energetically, I was already at my home having had this amazing day, as an example, right? So then I would be done with that. I take a nice deep breath in and exhale. And I would almost imagine that when I open the door, that physical opening the door and stepping through the threshold was like I was opening the door to a portal of a different reality. And I would walk out. I would, go back to listening to music and playing games with my employees. Sometimes we'd play pool. I manifested a pool table. That was awesome. I manifested like, we would play darts, pool, play cards, listen to music, dance, just have a good time and just have fun, right? And then before you know it, sometimes 20, 30 people, there would be waves of people coming in the store. And all of a sudden, it was exactly like I imagined it. Other times, I would just kind of go right in front of the water, look at the water view, take a few nice deep breaths in, close my eyes for a second, and imagine that I was turned around looking at seeing all of the people come in and do a similar thing. Out of the quantum field of possibilities, I was shifting realities and timelines in those moments. It wasn't like some big event. It was just shifting and embodying the trust, truly feeling into the bliss of and security of so much money, of having so much money, of having such a good time. That's an example of you can like wake up, right? You can, if you can't do the inner work immediately when you wake up, fine. If you need to just get up and get some coffee and do something, just find another like 10 minutes somewhere before you let the outside world to truly embody and choose and select who you are. So get super clear. What is it that I want in my reality? What is my energy like? What's my lifestyle like? What is the relationship like with me and my baby, my true love? How do we treat each other? How do we act with each other? What does our home life look like? Get super clear of all of that. What does my bank account look like? What does it look like to be successful in what I want? You don't have to want millions and millions of dollars. You might just want, look at, you don't have to try to manifest and be something that you don't want deep down in your heart and soul. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Do you think that I ever feel like I need to prove anything to any of you guys? I love you guys. You guys are all part of me. We're all one, but I don't need to validate myself or my life or anything I've manifested with you guys. I'm just here as a guide, as a channel, letting God work through me to help you guys. I don't need your validation. I love you guys. I don't need your validation. That's the kind of energy that you have to possess. Because then you're walking, talking, and breathing, and knowing that God is literally within you and God is handling all of the heavy lifting for you. But anyway, so you wake up, find at least 10 minutes to go back within and go into your power, tap into your power, get super clear and select this is who I am now. And obviously I can help you with coaching, but if you can't, you have to do something to embody being who you want to be. And then you just end up having imaginal acts and scenes. And I personally do find that to be super blissful when I'm manifesting anything that I want in my reality and I'm selecting and I'm embodying this is who I am. And then when I get up, same way that I was describing when I had the interior design business and I imagined going into the office as if it was like a almost as if it was like a time capsule or something that, you go in, you close the door, and then you open the door and boom, you're in a completely different reality. You can use doorways. You can use when you've done your inner work and then you step out of bed and you feel your feet hit the floor, you can use all of these little physical things in your reality as like this is you stepping into the new timeline. That you are now in the new reality. You are now in the timeline. Just stop looking for it and stop doubting yourself and stop doubting the process. Again, if you need help, obviously you can reach out to me. Please do affirm down below. I am going to trust in my ability to create the wonderful dream life that I know that I want in my heart and soul. If you need me, just reach out. I hope that this video helped. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.